Bonsuelo, everybody. Okay, just thought I'd give you a few more examples of word problems. I'm not going to finish these. I'm just going to set them up. What I suggest you do, like I always do, is you try them on your own, and then you just compare them with what I'm about to do here. So if you're just kind of like going through these and copying down what I write, you're not really going to get what you need to help you. What you need to do is try it on your own first, and then compare it to what I'm about to do. Okay, so what are we looking for here? Time for both tractors to plow a field together. So we have time together, and I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. There's nothing new here. Okay, so what are we going to do? How long would it take to plow a field together? So the total work is one field. Okay, so that's going to be the work of the old tractor versus the work of the new tractor. Each one's rate times time. Okay, so what's the rate of the original? The time of each is X. What's the rate of the original? It can plow 5 fields in 60 minutes. So that's going to be 5 fields per 60 minutes. And that you would call that 1/12. Okay? What's the rate of the new tractor? It can plow 2 fields in 15 minutes. So it's 2/15. Sorry, I don't know why I put 0 there. It's 1 field. Okay, well, what's the 5/60ths? It's 1/12. And then 2/15 is just 2/15. Okay. So real quickly, hopefully, what's the common denominator for 1/12 and 2/15? Let's see. Yeah, it's just 60. So I'm not going to finish this off, but we multiply both sides by 60. So I guess reducing this fraction 5/60ths to 1/12 didn't help that much. So we're going to multiply by 60, and so we'd get 5x plus 8x equals 60. And then you'd finish it off. Okay. Again, I just mainly want to set this up. Okay, Elvis and Snard groomed 11 aardvarks. Elvis worked for 20 hours and was then joined by Snard, and they worked 10 more hours. If Elvis can groom an aardvark in 5 hours, then how long does it take Snard to groom an aardvark? So we're looking for Snard's time alone. Again, total aardvarks is 11, so that's going to be rate times time of Elvis plus rate times time of Snard. Equals 11 aardvarks. Okay, so let's look at Elvis first. Elvis worked for 20 hours and was then joined by Snard, and they worked 10 hours more. So what was Elvis's time? 30 hours. Because he worked for 20 hours and then 10 hours more. What was Snard's time? Snard's time was 10. Okay. All right. If Elvis can groom an aardvark in 5 hours, so that's his time alone, so his rate is 1/5. And Snard's time alone is x, so his rate is 1/x. Okay? Now, to simplify this, we don't need to multiply by 5x, because notice this 1/5 times 30 gives us 6. So what we really end up with is 6 plus 10/x equals 11. And then we actually, you know what you could do is you could subtract the 6 and get 10/x equals 5, and then multiply by x and get 10 equals 5x. And obviously, you can finish it off and just get 2. Okay? Wilbur swam 18 miles upstream, the same amount of time it took him to swim 21 miles downstream. Okay, what's the speed of the current? X equals the speed of the current. Okay, so the time upstream equals the time downstream. In other words, upstream is against the current and downstream is with the current. So time upstream, so upstream you go slower, equals the time downstream. This is the same as problem number 4 on the last video. Okay, so that's going to be distance divided by rate equals distance divided by rate. Okay, so upstream, he goes 18 miles. And he goes 21 miles downstream. Okay, now, the thing I want to point out is you have to be very careful here. Last time, what I was looking for was the speed we swims when there's no current. You always take the speed without the current plus or minus the current, or speed without the wind plus or minus the wind. Last time we were looking for the speed without the current. That's why the X went first. But here we're looking for the speed of the current. So it's got to be the speed without the current, which is 5. And then upstream is going to be minus the current, and downstream is going to be plus the current. Okay? So be careful. It's not always like X plus or minus something. It's always the speed of the thing when there's no current plus or minus the current or the wind or whatever it is. Now, the common denominator here would be 5 minus x times 5 plus x. So that would be 18 times 5 plus x equals 21 times 5 minus x. And then I can simplify this and take a 3 out of each of these. So this would become 6, and this would become 7. And then you distribute, I don't know what this thing is doing. That was kind of bizarre. That becomes 7. And then you just distribute and finish solving it. Okay? So again, I'm just setting these things up mainly. I just thought I'd give you a few more examples. Thought it might be helpful. But if you have any questions, just ask me. And again, I really recommend you stay away from the Alex explanation. Talk to you later.